told you that there is a gossip protocol. Okay. So for collections to work, it is important to have cross-organizational gossip configured correctly. It's already configured, but this note is given for those who are developing their own this private data collection. So that is why they have asked. Now, since we our channel is there, been created, and all the Docker containers related to the data space and the certification authorities have been up, so we can deploy the chain code. So you copy this thing, and I'll let you know that what is there inside the chain code. This query, sorry, this command is. The chain code go is here. This is the chain code package path. Okay, chain code path, and chain code language is Go. CCL is Go, and execution policy is actually OR. So either um, of the organization should, then this is the this config file. So this is configuration file which has to be given to this thing. So this config.json. Okay, so this configuration has to be. Now here you should must take care of this thing that is yeah. So both organizations on the channel must pass identity. Suppose there are two organizations because they want to buy the asset, they want to communicate, they want to exchange the assets. So definition should be same for both of them. So they must pass identical private collection. So here we have seen that private data collection is identical. Here you can see that this is quite similar to this. And again this is for both of them, so it is similar to both of them, so this should be there. I come back. Yeah, so we were here, so we have to deploy. Now it is saying that when we are deploying the smart contract with chain code level endorsement, that is all. So either of them can create their own assets. So they don't need to ask, like organization one is creating an asset. So it must not ask organization two that can I create the asset or not. So it is not. So independently they can create their assets, but the definition should be same. So structure for both of them should be same. So I am running this command, make back running. Yeah. So if the chain code is deployed at your end, please type cc deployed ccd. You can write to me ccd. Yeah, Neeraj says ccd. What others? Apurva says ccd. Very nice. This is Saurabh, I think. Okay. Sonali says CCD. Sonali, yeah. So, what about others? I'm waiting for others too. Please reply me. Says, yeah. I know that these are only this where you can do by it your this by your own, but there's certain thing addressed while this you perform this exercise. So my suggestion is please do me. Okay, so here you can see that chain code has been deployed, and you can see over here that the chain code. Yeah. So connections config for both like localhost 9051 and 7051. So 9051 and 7051, the collections config, this path is same for both. So it is saying that they are referring to same private data collection. Okay. Now you don't have to run these two things. We'll come to register entities. Okay. Okay. So first, the private data transfer smart contract supports ownership by individual. Okay, so every entity in the channel has some ownership to its own private data. Okay, so to highlight the here in our scenario, the owner of the asset will be a member of organization one. Yes, while will be organization two. To highlight the connection between get client identity dot get ID API and information within user certificate, we will register two identities using organization one, organization two certificate. So we'll export these first. Export. We'll export these environment variables. Now, CA client for organization one will be organization1.example.com. So certification authority we have set for organization one. This is client register. So we'll copy this. Identity is the client identity. Okay. So these two things are actually required. So get client's identity. So we have done this thing. So here you can see that the owner password is also there. So the ID secret owner PW. So secret name is actually so we'll take organization one peer zero. Okay, so peer zero of organization one we'll name it as owner, and it has secret owner PW is the secret ID of that. Okay, so that peer. Now you can now generate the identity certificates and MSP folder by providing the enroll name and secret to enroll command. Okay, so we we are enrolling. So this we have done. Please do this also. So we are done with organization 1. So part has not to be explored too much because we have to set certain things for organization 1. Again, this is for organization 2. Okay, because organization 2 will be the buyer. So we will get buyer identity. So name of that will be buyer, secret will be buyer PW. Okay, so I'm doing this thing for organization 2. So this is organization 2. Do it with me. Certification authority client tool. So we have to generate certain certificates. Here you can see that password is buyer PW is the password. Yeah, so what was the earlier command? The client register was there. Okay. Now fabric we'll enroll the client. Okay. So register and enroll the client. So we have enrolled the clients. So here till here configuration file to store. So if, till here we have registered 2 clients. So clients for organization 1 and who will be the seller, and client for organization 2 who will be the buyer. Now we are going to create an asset in private data. So again we have to export certain environment variables to the bash file. We have to copy this thing. Okay, so I would are you here with me or you are else? So please let me know. Okay, so what kind of error I am not getting? Done. So you can type registered. Okay, registered identities is done. So you can copy and paste this thing in the chat so that I'll come to know that this section has been completed by you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Now we are going to create an asset. So first, so this is done from my side. Now it is saying that we will use the create asset function, create an asset that is stored in private data. So asset ID will be asset 1. Asset ID is a string, so it will be 1. Color will be green. Size, since it was integer, we have given it as 20. And the appraised value is 100 for that asset. So we are creating a new asset. Now this appraised value will be this should be private. Okay, so we are using 2 functions. So create asset function will call put private data, under which appraised will be stored. So create asset function will use again call the private data. So we will call create asset and it will automatically call put private data, and inside this private data asset appraised value will be stored. Okay. So here you can export asset properties. So object type is asset 1. Sorry, object type is asset. ID is asset 1. Color is green. Size is 20 and appraised value is 100. So the function that has been that is going to be called is create asset function. Okay, and okay, so asset properties are asset properties. Okay. it has been invoked at 700 and 7050 is organization 1 with tier 0. So we are creating asset at tier 0 here. So let me copy first and paste it up. Okay, so chain code invoke successful. Here you see, yeah. So chain code invocation was successful. I'll be clear, let clear this thing. Or okay, for future reference, we need certain things. I'll not clear it. Okay. Note that command above only targets the organization when PS. So I've already told you. So no need to discuss about. Okay. So query private data as authorized peer. An asset is created right now, and that asset ID is asset and we want to query. So I've already told you that suppose all the peers of same organization can easily read that value, but any peer belonging to the other organization cannot read. And here, when we were defining the config, we have defined two organizations. So there only two organizations are there who can read the asset collections of each other, but private collection cannot read. Private collection can only be read by the members of organization 1, and organization 2's private collection can only be read by organization 2 members. Okay, so this is why that is why if we would have written organization 3, then organization 3 would have come into the picture, that we would have allowed organization 3 to read private collection of organization 1 or some. So suppose if you are creating your own Neeraj sent me an error message. Neeraj, I don't know why this is coming. Okay, so Neeraj, some command you must have, some of like just check it out that each and every command you have given. So there is some authentication failure for Sobia also. Check it out that all the you should be careful about each and every command should be executed in the manner that they are given inside the documentation. So come back to this thing. Yeah, Sobia says wrongly pasted. Yeah. So I was okay. So we have to query the private data as an authorized peer. So organization 1's private data, organization 1 has a peer 0 that is authorized. So in the read asset function that can read the private data. Okay, so if it is not authorized, then there should be an error. Okay, so read asset is there for reading asset, and read private is reading the update value. Okay, so now peer chain code query. Right now, since we have set the environment variables for organization, so we can read the private data of organization 1. So right now we are organization 1. So we are copying this command and reading the private details. So let's see whether yes. So here function is read. Here the function . using this command, say our organization, peer 0 of organization 1, we can easily read the details. Appraised value is getting read. Now, suppose we are not organization peer. So we were at this. So what we were doing, we have earlier we were organization 1. So we have read a private data, that is asset, and we have read its private details also. So the private details were appraised value. Okay. Now we are becoming unauthorized peer. So since we are using the same machine, we have to configure it for organization 2. So organization 2 is 9051. So I am copying this. Now we are becoming 9051. That is organization. So I am copying this thing and then pasting this thing. Now this is organization 2. And let us see whether we are able to read asset. Okay. Yeah, so the DB contains the details actually, Gulab. The asset is stored inside the couch DB. Couch DB is a private, here is defined as a private database for each peer. So couch DB is with peer 0 only. Have you got it? It is a database. Gulab? Yeah. So here, peers in organization 2 should have a set of asset transfer private data in their base and can access using read asset. Okay. So we are reading it. So it is there only. So we'll go back to this thing. Here, tier 0 of organization 1 was having a set of this type, like asset 1, color green and 20, or here also this organization 2 is having same asset. Okay. So same asset both are having, but the different objects, like 2 same pen, each of them are having, but not same kind of pen, but not the same, exactly same pen. Exact like single, that one.
Yeah, bro.
Now it is saying that, okay, so it is saying okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Oh. So it is saying that we are reading a set. This is common to both of them. I'm very sorry. This is a common thing. So common to both of them. I just got confused. Here, organization 2 will wants to read an asset that created by organization 1, and that whose pit this private asset private details it wants to read. So let us see if we want to read the asset private details. Okay, that is appraised value. So here, okay, argument is yeah. So we will query the channel with the read asset private details function from organization 2, and we are reading asset 1. Okay, so okay, local host is 7050. Yeah. So 7050 is let us see, there should be an okay, there is nothing. So There is nothing. It means that the empty response shows that asset 1 private deed does not exist in buyer organization 2 private collection. So it has, it has queried its private collection, and it has known that is there. Okay. Now nor can user from organization 2 can read organization 1 private collection. So how, if I am organization 2 and I am using organization 2 private collection, can read it, since there was not at all any private details, so it gave us empty response. But suppose I am organization 2 right now, I am reading organization 1 private details. Okay, so let us see what happens. And I'm unauthorized because it has not been registered and authorized. So let us see. So it is saying that there is some failure, endorsement failure. Okay, GAT state failed. So there is some failure because organization 2 is not yet actually registered. Now we have seen that in this way we have seen that the asset created by organization 1 can be read, and the asset and organization 2 can also read the asset of organization, but what it cannot read is the private details. Okay. Now we want to transfer the asset. If we are transferring the asset, then we have to disclose the private. That is why that is because both of them should agree on the same appraised value. So appraised value should be disclosed. So how we? So okay, so we will back to the we will switch back to the term with our PRCLI. So PRCLI is actually, there are two ways with the contract. So one is SDK, and other one is the PRCLI. So we are going back to this PRCLI, and let us do this thing. Okay. Copy, and then we'll see. Chain code invoke successful. Okay. So the value asset 1 and appraised value has been transferred. Okay. So it has been transferred to uh, you know let me see, I'm getting confused here. Okay, so asset value is the state variable, sorry, the environment variable, and we have invoked. Okay, agree to transfer function has been invoked, and with the asset value that has been actually this environment variable, which has been defined with asset ID as asset appraised value as 100. So we are using this asset value environment variable over here, and we are using this agree to transfer function. So now organization 0 and agree to do this thing. Now the buyer can now query. So now I'm agreed to transfer. So the other organizations who are there can agree on, can read the private collection. Okay, so here this organization 2 can read this private collection now. So earlier it was giving some error. So two commands, there was some error. Right now when we will run this thing, so I have to copy this first. Yeah, this is the same command. Okay, let us see. So now organization 2 is able to read appraised value. But they have not agreed, organization 2 has not agreed to buy that asset. Now buyer has agreed, it means it have agreed, but it has not bought that asset. So now buyer has agreed to buy the asset for the appraised value. Now the owner can transfer asset to organization 2. So there is no separate function they have made for agree to buy. So now again we will become organization 1. So right now we are organization 2 who have read the private collection. Okay. Now we'll copy this thing and we will become organization 1, and now we will send that asset to organization 2. So this is agree to transfer. Okay. So organization 2 has agreed. We have agreed to transfer this asset 1. Okay. So all things has been given to order of. So agree to transfer the asset, that is asset. Okay. Asset 1. Now the asset owner should be changed. Okay. So the owner needs to provide the asset ID and the organization of the buyer to transfer the transaction. Okay. So now the owner should be organization 2. Okay. So let us see. Organization 2 will be the buyer. So we have to transfer the ownership. So here in this command we are transferring the ownership. We will read the function. So asset own and function is transfer asset. So we are transferring the asset to this owner, to this organization, and who will now be the owner of asset. So we'll run this thing. We'll copy this. So chain code invoke was successful and ownership has been transferred. Okay. So you can now query asset 1 and see the results. So we can see that who will be the owner. So here the this is or this should be organization2.example.com. Okay. Now earlier it was organization1.example.com. So since the